So with all the Black Friday sales and Christmas shopping and New Year's, I thought that this video would be a really good reminder for people to check in on their personal finance. I worked at TD Canada Trust, which is one of the biggest banks in Canada, as a teller for 2 years. And during my time there, I've seen a lot of personal finance mistakes that people have been making. And to be very honest, I think that if I didn't work there, I would probably be making the same mistakes now as well. So without further ado, let's just jump right into it. Number one tip is to understand your type of account and what it includes. So with every type of account, no matter what it is, no matter if it's a checking account or a savings account or investments account, there are always three things that it will include: a minimum balance, a number of transactions that you're allowed within a month, and there are certain perks or things that it can offer you. So for example, let's say you're a student, so you may have a student checking account. So some student checking accounts, they may have unlimited transactions in a month. So that means you can use your debit card as many times as you want in a month and you won't be charged for it. However, some other accounts will have maybe, let's say, 25 free transactions in a month, which means you can only withdraw money from that account 25 times. If you go over your 25 transactions in a month, you may be charged $1.25 per transaction you'll make. So let's say if you don't keep track of how many transactions you make, you might be going over that limit that you have for yourself. Some checking accounts will have you need a minimum balance of maybe $2,000, $3,000, $4,000, or $5,000. And with each tier it goes up, the more perks you'll have. So for example, if your checking account requires you to have a minimum balance of $4,000, but it might give you unlimited transactions. However, if you ever go below that minimum balance at any time of the month, you will get charged a monthly account fee. Really understand the types of accounts that you have, whether it be checking or savings, because you might be incurring charges that you didn't know you had to pay. My second tip kind of coincides with the first one, which is to check your bank accounts monthly. Whether just be skimming through your transactions, you're not only being aware of how much money you're spending, but also you are looking for any fraudulent charges or any fees that's charged by your bank. When I was working as a teller, there were so many people out there who paid over $30 or $50 in monthly account fees. When you're in university, you may have a student checking account. And when you graduate, your student status is no longer there because you're not with the university anymore. So most banks will automatically change your student checking account into maybe a normal everyday kind of checking account. And those checking accounts don't come with the benefits that your student account comes with. Some recent grads may be using their checking account still as their student status, but they didn't realize how many charges they're racking up. However, a lot of recent grads come into the bank maybe like 8 months afterwards and find out that they've been getting charged like $10 a month. And that's $80 they've been paying in monthly account fees, but they didn't know because they didn't check their accounts. The banks usually will mail you a letter if they're telling you that your account type has been changed, but if you don't check your mail or if you didn't update your address, it's not really the bank's responsibility to make sure that you know that your account type has been changed. You're the one checking your account because you are responsible for your money. So let's talk about overdraft protection. Overdraft is when you dip below zero in any of your accounts. Sometimes this may happen if you have an automatic charge that's coming out of your account. For example, maybe an automatic credit card payment. The credit card company will be withdrawing that money from your account every month. And what if your account doesn't have enough money to pay that credit card payment at that time? Sometimes the credit card company will try to take the money out, and sometimes your bank won't let them because they know you don't have enough money. But certain times they will take the money out automatically anyway, and you will be going into the negative in any of your bank accounts. And going into the negative is not very good because where is that money coming from? You're actually using the bank's money for that because it's not your money anymore. The bank is lending you that money and they're expecting you to pay it back. With every day you have that negative balance in your account, every day you'll get charged an interest on it. And as the bank's way of lending you that money, they also charge you a hefty fee. It could go up to like $50 per time you go into your negative in your account. In a way to counteract this, some banks offer a overdraft protection, which is to protect you from going into the negative in your account. While going into a negative is never good, you should always get this type of protection because usually banks will offer two types of protection. The first type of overdraft protection being a monthly recurring fee that you pay. It could be $4 a month, and the bank will let you go into your overdraft as many times as you want in that month, and you only have to pay that one-time fee of $5. However, this is only good for people who expect to go into their overdraft a lot in the month. I don't really recommend it for anyone because you still have to pay interest on the days you're in overdraft. Also, it negatively impacts your credit score as well. The other type that a lot of banks offer is a pay-as-you-go type of overdraft. Basically, every time you do go into your overdraft, you'll only pay a small charge, which is like $5, compared to that $50 charge that you'll get if you don't have the protection. I know it's kind of crazy, but if you don't go into your overdraft at all, you don't have to pay anything. So it's just type of insurance you have, but it's not really an insurance because you're not paying anything to have it. You're only just paying a lesser amount if you do go into the overdraft, which is pretty good, and I recommend everyone to have this because essentially, if you're never going into your overdraft at all, you're just not paying anything. Some people might say, I'm never gonna go into my overdraft because I always have money in my bank account. But it does happen because most people who go into their overdraft don't expect that they're going into it. Life is surprising, a lot of unexpected change happens. Maybe you're paying your rent and then 2 credit card payments go out and then a automatic bill payment go out, and suddenly you find out you're like -200 into your checking account. Bottom line is, get overdraft protection. Credit cards are not free money. I know this may sound absurd to a lot of people, but some people just don't realize what credit cards actually mean, because credit cards are essentially a way of you just spending money and the bank is loaning you that money, and you're guaranteeing that you will be paying that money back at the end of the month or at the end of your billing cycle. But if you don't pay them back that amount at the end of your billing cycle, then you will be charged interest on it, and it will negatively impact your credit score as well. Don't spend your credit card if you know you don't have the money to pay it back. However, in contrary to that, credit cards are also not the devil. I know a lot of us are raised to think that credit cards are not good for you and it encourages frivolous spending, but a lot of credit cards out there actually offer you a lot of bonuses. With all the points you rack up from certain travel credit cards, you can maybe get a free flight somewhere, or maybe there are cashback cards which allows you to get maybe 1%, 2% cashback on every transaction you spend. So that's basically saying 1% or 2% off that item you're buying. So really look into what your needs are, and there are so many credit cards out there that can fulfill your needs and provide you with some sort of benefit. My last tip for you guys is that not all bankers are out there to get you. I know that people think that, oh, bankers are just trying to meet their sales goals and they're just trying to sell you items that you don't need. And sure, some of that is true. I had sales quotas when I was working there, but a lot of bankers only sell things to you if they think you need it. Bankers are one of the most knowledgeable people who will know about your personal finance needs and what type of products will best suit you. Because those products out there, just like clothing, it's not a one-size-fits-all, and there are definitely different products out there just to fit your individual needs. Let's say if you're going to go to the bank to do a transaction, and bankers offer you a new product or a new credit card offer, just take the time to listen to them. You don't necessarily have to buy anything from them, or you don't have to get it. Don't feel the pressure to actually get something because they're used to rejection all the time already. But maybe they might be offering you something that will be really useful to you. And in addition to that, I have a bonus tip. Ask them questions if you need help. If you don't understand anything about personal finance and you're just a newbie going into this, that's totally fine. We've all been there before. You can just make an appointment with a financial advisor at one of your local banks and ask them anything you want. They're there to help you and they're there to assist you. And whether they be offering you any products, you don't have to feel obligated to say yes to them. Just make your own decisions and take everything with a grain of salt. And that's all I have for today. Happy holidays, everyone, and don't forget to like, subscribe, and comment below anything you guys enjoyed in this video or any other video ideas you guys have in the future. And I'll see you guys in the next one. Bye.